Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing. I'm very close. I'm at 99 right now, one away from 100. So close, so close. Please give it a like and comment also. We're here for Doctor Who Flux. I was working yesterday when it dropped in the UK. Um, by now, if everybody's probably heard from somebody or a couple of your favorite channels what's going on with it now, or you've already seen it if you're in the UK. I just thanks to my source, they know who they are. I finally got it this morning, watched it, and been working most of the day on trying to put this together. My thoughts of it, I stayed away from other reviews to try to keep an open mind with this, but we're gonna, if you haven't seen it, this will contain spoilers. If you have seen it, well, you're going to hear it all again from that you same things you probably heard from other people, but this is going to be my take on it. So, and we're opening up with the apocalypse, and we start off with Jodie and yeah, hanging upside down on a like a hoverboard type thing, and they're being told by a menacing voice of how they're going to be dropped into a vat of acid or the pool of acid down below. And if they happen to get out of that, there's another one after another disaster waiting for them. And if they happen to get out of that, these drones are going to come along and kill them if they escape that. But they do. They amazingly they flip up onto the board and start hanging on for dear life. And Jodie's gonna realize that the cuffs that they're in are voice activated, where she continues to say release over and over and over again. It wasn't funny the first time. It's not the 10th time that she says it, but it just happens that they after they it doesn't work and they start being shot at. They go through a bunch of stuff and they finally see the TARDIS down below. They drop all the way down, and I don't know how they to be nitpicky how they make a fall like that, and not hurt at all, but they happen to bounce onto a bed that's conveniently placed right there. And then of course they're uh, not gonna uh, no scissoring in the TARDIS, but there's probably a little thing that put in for to get the shippers excited, I guess, even though that there's nothing to it or whatever. But I guess that as we quickly go from this scene to Liverpool in 1820, and what's going on there? Well, there's some bad white guys doing their stuff. You don't really know what this guy's. He's got a plan in mind. He's something's coming, and he's involves him digging down uh, below the earth there, and he's trying to explain to the other guy what's going on, and because the other guy doesn't can't make any sense, but he the guy here with the big sideburns knows what something bad's coming or whatever, and he's preparing for, I believe. But they don't go into much more detail than that. That's the last you see of him. Then we cut to our new companion, John Bishop. Here he's pretending to be a tour guide, and he's taken outside by one of the workers there who knows him and tells him that you can't be can't be doing that anymore. He's not supposed to be uh, doing that stuff, but apparently he likes that. And let's see, we're handy capable here now too. It's like the first. I haven't researched. I don't know if this is CGI or if that's if this actress is actually handicapped or not. But that's tick another box off for the show's history. But I got no problem with. So um, they talk for a while here and make plans to meet up after she gets done with work, so they can go have a drink or so. Now, in the meantime, they jump back to the TARDIS and there's getting a psychic invasion or whatever you want to call it, vision to Doctor is of this creature called the Swarm, who's been imprisoned apparently since the dawn of time on this planet, and he's showing the two workers for the division are there to check on him, and apparently this is finally the time where he's ready to break his bonds, and he surprises them by breaking free and killing both of them, and then somehow it seems like he absorbs all their power, matter, or something he takes into him. Actually, it's not bad effects for this particular portion. The beginning bit on the hoverboard was a little crap, but this wasn't that bad. So they cut back to the TARDIS real quick. Again, where Yes notices that the TARDIS is leaking something, and Doctor kind of blows it off and doesn't make him any deal about it. They go back again to Earth, and something's watching Dan. Switch again. We go back to the doggos. This actually, Dan goes home, and there's a big few little montages of trick or treaters showing up for Halloween, and he gives what he has left to the kids, and then he gives some older guy who shouldn't be trick or treating at all shows up, and he tells him to get lost. That's pretty funny scenes, and then this guy shows up and breaks through his door, and of course Dan just thinks it's another person in a costume, and Doggo here is here to take him away, and they have a bit of banter between the two of them. And yeah, it's a so-so outfit in my opinion, but sort of looks like Woogie. But anyhow, they after that the Doctor got the Sonic out the whole episode, traced it to his place. She gets in after he's been taken, and there's some residue left on the floor there, and then she decides to taste it, which is like a sort of a callback to stuff like Tennant used to do, in my opinion. I can't understand half the time. I need a translator to try to understand what Jodie's saying, the way she delivers her lines and stuff. And they escape the house just in time. They figure out that the laptop there was another trap, and it shrinks the whole building down to that size there. And once again, this is all over the place as far as back and forth, changing locations, I guess, because there's so much they want to cram it into a 6 episode series. that I suppose they have to cram all this in really quick, but it's a bit much in my opinion. But I don't know. That's it's too much stuff to throw at you all at once. There's too much stuff going on. So we're off to the Arctic Circle where we see a couple living in a house. It doesn't seem like it'd be appropriate for that area, but whatever. That's, I guess, nitpicking again. And we have some dialogue between the two, sort of establishing that the dude's kind of a soy boy. He just plays second fiddle to the strong women here. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's kind of the impression I get from the two. But he they just have a little bit of banter back between the two, and after a little bit, they hear like a warning beacon or something going off, and they go to investigate it, and it turns out to be this floating, hovering drone. Which again, here the guy's like, well, he indecisive, doesn't know what to do, and then the lady here goes over, picks up the hammer, and immediately smashes the thing. So it's some kind of warning signal. They say that I think they're also members of the group the doctor's trying to find out about. So we switch back to the ship, and John Bishop here in the cage with the doggo, I keep calling. He keeps. There actually is some pretty. If you want to know how to do decent banter or dialogue between characters and stuff, there's some good examples here. I'm kind of already liking Dan, John Bishop's character. He's got some decent dialogue and comebacks and things when he's dealing with the different threats and dealing with this creature here, keeping him captive. He doesn't. So far, I mean, he's a fairly strong character. He doesn't put up with crap from people, and I'm liking him so far. Hopefully, they won't diminish that in the future, because I'd be ashamed to see him start out strong and then have him just marginalize him in the background like they did with the other guys. So we're back again, jumping all over. We're back to Earth again, and this lady named Claire shows up, and she's giving me vibes of. She says she knows both of knows the doctor, but the doctor doesn't recognize her. And the dialogue that she delivers here leads me to believe that she might end up being like a second doctor in their type of timeline or something. That's just my guess, or maybe not the second, but one of the other set of female doctors. I think they might be going for that type of thing, but that's just my guess. I don't know right now. Taking the long road home or whatever, that's something the doctor said before in the previous long way around. I mean, but so yeah, that the doctor and Yaz bugger off, and then Claire is pursued by the weeping angels. Or just one here, and she's trying to get back inside the house to get to safety, but the angel keeps pursuing her. And there's a big, scene that keeps getting closer and closer, and she's fumbling with the keys to get in the door. She drops them. She finally gets the door open, and it seems like she's inside, but then there's a flash, and she's gone. So we assume that the angel got her. Then it's off to observation post Rose, and here's where we see Vinder for the first time. And most of his scenes here in the beginning is just him monologuing it all up and going on and on about stuff, blah blah. Then back again to the Arctic couple. Swarm pops in, ends up killing Soy Boy, and his partner here says something about something's in her head, and she has something to say or whatever, and it's like thank you to him, and it turns out that it looks like she might be getting killed too, but come on, come on. Well, anyhow, it turns out that he refers to her as her sister, and this is her form. So I don't know if I guess she was like that the whole time, or I don't know what's going on with that, but it says it's her sister. So meanwhile, they pop back up to the doggo ship. Yes, and the doctor snuck on board. The doctor's deactivated the weapon systems, and she sends Yaz to go get John Bishop out of the cage. And of course, Yaz knows how to do this, and she's seen many types of traps like this before, she says. And then we go back to the doctor and doggo talking, and the doctor's like, well, you wants answers and stuff, and blah, 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 and crap goes down, and they end up running off of the ship back to the TARDIS. And we switch to or not 3 million, but many million light years later, and we're on the Sontaran ship now, and showing the new Potato Head, or the old Potato Head, yeah, Sontarans, and they're looking so, but they try to do, I think, another callback again to classic stuff, where the guy was actually innovative and did the tongue thing where he sticks his tongue out and stuff, but this just makes God does something that's totally creepy and doesn't look like the original thing at all. And then we cut back again to the TARDIS and the doctor showing the universe and how they're safe there. Once again, the Swarm gets in her head and shows her visions and stuff, and starts talking about how that he knows the doctor, and they've had many battles, and kind of creepily circles around her and talks about how the everything's setting up for the big final fight between the two of them. And I guess then we again switch back to Dan's date, who for some reason gets psychically attacked by the Swarm sister, who's beckoning her, forcing her actually physically to go into this house where she's waiting inside for her, and ends up telling her that they're going to have fun with her, whatever that's supposed to mean. Back again to the ship, where the doctor instructs the doggo how to assemble their 7 million or billion ships or whatever it is into a pattern that will surround the earth and protect it from the oncoming swarm. And he gives her a little trouble at first, but then he follows her instructions, and bingo, it works perfectly. And we end up with the doctor trying to fend off the swarm, tries to use some vortex energy, which seems to have little to no effect at all on it. And they go through a pretty quick montage of all the sort of subplots of showing what's happening to the other different people that they've covered previously in the episode, and that was pretty much it. That's where they leave it, on that little cliffhanger. The swarm's coming in, the TARDIS doors are open, and it doesn't look like she's gonna be able to stop it. But I guess we'll find out what happens next in the next episode, where the Sontarans are going to feature heavily. Okay, so my thoughts. The good stuff, there are some good acting scenes. I'm pretty impressed with John Bishop. Now, this isn't my opinion. Other people might think he's crap or whatever, but I think he's a fairly decent actor for being a comedian. And when it comes for the times for delivering dialogue where it's supposed to be funny, he actually pulls it off convincingly. Unlike Jodie, where I just don't enjoy her trying to be funny because it's usually not. Um, she wasn't that very good in this episode. Yaz wasn't that good in this episode. Uh, they had some good visual effects. I think the guy who's playing the swarm is decent. Um, it's finally some as far as the a adversary for the Doctor. Once again, we finally have somebody I think that actually I would consider a threat again. So that's a plus. I'm wondering if this is some version of the Master or something. Or a totally new person, but well, just because they say that there's been battling a Doctor forever doesn't necessarily mean that it is the Master or something. But if this is an alternate timeline, but I don't even know that yet for sure. But uh, that's good. That's what I'm trying to think. What else good I could. That's, I think it pretty much covers the good stuff. So it wasn't all bad. I wasn't going into this trying thinking I'm going to hate everything. Now to the bad. Like I said earlier, this is just too much going on here. But here to here to here to here to here. I just don't like that. um, don't like some of the stupid uh, comedy that doesn't work in this. Some of the stuff that doesn't make sense as far as maybe it will later, but trying to tie some of these plots and subplots together. Um, and but I will say at least it for the most part it held my attention. I wasn't bored to death. Um, like was with some of the other previous series and stuff. But overall, if I were to give this a rating out of 10, I will give this for their opening salvo a 6 out of 10, which I think might surprise some people because I haven't really been positive on this coming into this, but I said I'd try to keep an open mind. We'll see how it goes from here. From you, probably also already heard this is since I'm late to the party or whatever that overnights were like 4.4 million, which I don't think is that bad. And I think once consolidated comes in, it could probably get close to like 6 million or so for this first episode, which I think so far it's outperforming a lot of what a lot of people thought that this would bring in. Again, we shall see. Overall, not bad. Not a bad effort for the opening salvo for this new series. We'll see what happens in the next one. Like I said at the start, if you haven't subscribed, please consider it. We're really close. I got close to 100. I got 99. Um, got other stuff I'm working on. I'm coming up as soon as I can get together with my co-host and pick a date. We're gonna continue our Blake's 7 watch along, and that should be in the next day or so. Just too much happening this weekend. I normally try to do it on the weekends. I was working, and after work, there was just other stuff for other people going on, and would have been conflicts and stuff. So, well, get that figured out, and once I do, I'll put the post up and notify you when. So, thanks everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.